Hey everyone. On today's podcast, we'll be talking about success, worthiness, and burnout, and what all of those things mean to you, to us, and to everybody else in the world.
And how they are interconnected. So stay tuned, join the conversation, and enjoy.
Hey everyone, welcome to Gen 80 Talks with myself, Hatz, and my wonderful co-host, Anahi.
Hi, thank you. In this podcast, we're going to be tackling different topics that it has to do with life, success, failures, and everything in between. We're going to be talking about relationships, love, family, careers, etc., and all the challenges that we face in this life that we're living. So stay tuned, subscribe, and join the conversation.
Yeah, so sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode. Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. Big fish, little fish, cardboard box.
Okay, so we're not singing today. We're not singing. We're just dancing.
Yep, we are live, people.
Actually,
we're not technically live. We're live on the Zoom, but we're recording this, and hopefully this is not going to...
Episode 7.
Siete. Hey, I got it right. Siete.
Episode 7 of the Gen 80 Talk podcast. And we are there. We are getting closer to our 10 episodes goal. And today we're going to be talking about something that, you know what? I actually want to add something else, because we when we make the list, it was success, worthiness, and burnout. But I want to add something also that is very related to this, which is productivity. And I think for all of us who have been in lockdown and with all these messages on social media of, now that I'm in lockdown and I have no interruptions, I'm going to build my side hustle, I'm going to get a 6-pack, I'm going to start eating vegan, I'm going to, like all this shit. And then when you couldn't deliver that because it was ridiculous and because you are burned out from all the stress, you're like, I'm always a failure. This is always my fault, blah, 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 blah. So let's dig in on first of all, I would like to know, Hatito, what is your definition of success?
See, that's a tough one. Success can mean many different things to different people. I guess if you set yourself a goal or a target and you achieve that, that is success. No matter how big or impossible that target or goal is, you get to where you want to be. Or I guess if you get to contentment, let's say you're happy with your effort, that can be a success too. You may not achieve your goal, but you're happy with the effort that you made. That can be a success too. Again,
I like that. I like that definition a lot, because I think that many times success is so performative, is so external, that we say, oh, when I have a boyfriend, I'm going to be successful. Or when I lose the 10 pounds, I'm going to be successful. Or when I get the promotion, I'm going to be successful. But we forget that if success tastes bad in our mouth because we are burned out, or because we are overstretched, or because we have neglected our bodies or our mind or our emotions, it is not really successful. So I like that you said it's contentment. I really like that. And sometimes your goal or the definition of success might vary as you work towards it, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, from my personal experiences, it's like I've always had this passion in swimming coaching, and I've always had this goal to be at the Olympics one day with a swimmer or with a couple of swimmers or whatever. Now, I know that in order for me to do that, I need to put in place certain things in my life to allow me to achieve it. And I can't do that because I also have a job as an engineer. I work on major projects or in a massive engineering company or whatever. And that takes time. So I can't commit my time to both. And so do I consider myself a successful swimming coach so far, having not achieved the highest goals in swimming coaching? I would say yes, because what I've done so far has touched people's lives. I've made an impact on people's lives. People still remember me. People still call me. So I'm successful in a way. It might not be the same way as I want to be, but it's still a form of success.
Oh my God, I love that so much. I love how you're framing that in worthiness, in knowing that success will look different for different people, and that the conditions that you're living in will also be a huge role player in success and what you achieve, actually. I love that.
So like I said, it's all about contentment, really. If you're content with what you've achieved, that's success. And how you work on that. Now, when it comes to burnout, success and burnout, I know we'll probably touch on burnout a bit more, but you, in the pursuit of success, you can burn yourself out. You will sort of like channel vision, I need to get to where I'm going, and you'll forget about your sleep, you'll forget about your like diet, you'll forget about your friends, you forget about socializing, all the key things that will help you achieve success, you block it out.
But that is mostly that's when success and productivity are so tied together. And unfortunately, because we do live in a capitalist, patriarchal, colonialist, post-colonialist society, productivity is kind of like how many people measure their worthiness, you know. So everyone is hustling for worthiness in how many boxes they tick, how many things they complete on their to-do list, which makes success a very, very, very steep hill to climb, you know. Because like you said now, okay, so am I where I want to be as a swimming coach? No, but have I been successful? Has my career as a swimming coach been a success? Yes, it has, you know. And I think sometimes that's the thing, that when we focus so much on the performative side of success, and when we make success more important than ourselves, we burn out, you know. I have seen it. I have a lot of high achieving clients, and we work a lot on that, because the more they want to reach, the more they have to give themselves, you know. And I said that to all my clients, especially when we were walking into COVID and lockdown and homeschooling and stuff. I will tell them, this is a moment where your self-care practices have to be bulletproof. This is a moment where you taking care of yourself has to be the biggest priority, because this is when burnout is going to happen. Like, I know I'm not preaching perfectly, because I've been burned out myself. I mean, the last month has been basically my body reminding myself that my business success cannot come at the cost of my body basically breaking, which is what was happening in the past few weeks, right? And I love that I had this wake-up call now, because the model that I have for success was that my mom was a single mom. She worked, 80-hour weeks. She worked weekends. When she wasn't working, she was doing something for either our home or for the community, or she was fixing something, or like pleasure, play, enjoyment, rest, recovery was never modeled to me. But that is also part of the why patriarchal model, where you need to earn your rest. And how do you earn it? By showing, oh no, but look, I did this. And that is basically saying you need to earn your worthiness and your worth for rest, and your, the pleasure of recovering by being very, very, very productive. And that's bullshit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say that everybody's different. Okay. And we all set ourselves different expectations of ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. Some people really set themselves really high expectations, and that has an impact on not getting married, or not having kids, or not having a family. Some people see having a family and many kids as success. Some people see being at the top of their game in their career or their sport as success. And some people see a balance of the two being a success. But one thing you just mentioned about, kind of what you said was, if you don't get there and you need to take some time out to rest, or you have that awakening moment, those things are not bad things. Some people see them as weaknesses, but in actual fact, you always need to review and feedback where you're going, and take a step back and just look and see, okay, this is where I want to be going. My circumstances are not allowing me to. Maybe I need to look after myself a bit more, my mental health, my physical health, and then I'll get back on track again. So another example is me in swimming coaching. I have left the UK and come to Qatar with high expectations to carry on doing what I used to do. and for one reason or another, it's not happening. And I've taken some time out. Does that mean I consider myself a failure? No, not at all. It's just a circumstance.
Yeah.
And I will, once given the opportunity to get back into it. Same with you. You needed that time out to literally switch off from everything. And
my body
come
was
back
telling
stronger.
me,
Or you will come back stronger. Yeah.
Inshallah.
Well, the passion is still there, it's still there.
Yeah.
To
me, it's also about why is success, like, why do I think this is success? And this is a question that I always ask my clients when we're coaching. One of the things that they write at the beginning and at the end of the program is, at the beginning is, for this program to be successful, I have to, or I would like to achieve or accomplish XYZ, right? And we break those down, because sometimes what we are calling success is actually to impress others. It's not about us. I mean, and this is particularly noticeable in the context of social things, right? Like the couple that are really not great together, but they stay together because to them success of the marriage means we stick together forever, even though we don't love each other, Or the mom that is going mental, but to her success in motherhood means that she's the perfect mom that has everything done, that is constantly doing more, that is always involved in all the activities, that is doing this and that, and she's burning out, but she doesn't give herself the grace to say, can I redefine this so that my pleasure, my contentment, my ease, my joy, my wellness, it's a priority, versus showing on Instagram that I am super special and I'm perfect, The same thing happened with the entrepreneurs. Many times we say, oh, I want to be a seven-figure coach and I want to travel the world. And in the process of building that, I alienate my friends, I abandon my family, I abandon my body, I neglect my health. And yeah, you might get there, but what is the expense? Like, what is the price that you're paying? Are you paying the price with love, with health, with what? And there's always a price to pay. Like again, look at me. Since the COVID started, I had to start homeschooling. Obviously, the whole quarantine thing, which has been really hard. A lot of work stress and drama because I lost a lot of my contracts and stuff. And then I carry on. And in fact, if anything, I start training much more. And in training much more, what happened was that I slowly got weaker, and eventually it was gallstones first. And now it's a pretty complex stomach situation that we don't know if it's an ulcer or if it's an infection or what is. And I'm being pushed to slow down.
But your full attention to what you might want to be focusing on has to now be shared with another issue that you have.
Well,
and so you can't fully focus on that.
Exactly. So what happened for many of us entering lockdown was that, first of all, many of our careers migrated a lot, and we were trying to catch up with that. But then if we were parents, we also have to add up homeschooling, which is fucking hard in every flipping way. It's horrendous, right? So that was added. And then obviously all the fear of firing and all this drama that has been going on for everyone in this situation. And some of us were very good at giving ourselves rest and recovery and facing our emotions, and some of us were not. I was in between.
Yeah. You were in between what?
In between taking care of me, because I thought, well, if I train more, that's going to be great. And then on the other side, I wasn't resting more. So the stress that I was putting on my body was really high.
Much higher, yeah.
Exactly. And here I am. And now the growth for me has been, can I redefine success on my business without compromising my health nor my relationship with my children, so that I am not resentful to homeschooling nor annoyed when I'm resting. And this has been the learning of the last couple of weeks, when basically all my doctors were like, park your ass in bed, rest, and rest some more.
Anahi, one of the and that's what happened. You kind of you played, you toyed with burnout, and it's had an effect on you.
Yes.
Just to note for everybody listening, that every person is not the same. Their circumstances, their environments are different. their financial situation is different. And so maybe a person in a different situation with the same, or in different conditions, but with the same situation as you, in terms of homeschooling, working out stuff, they may not burn out because they still have the opportunity
Exactly.
to
Yes.
to look after themselves.
Yes. So
and
that is so important that you say that. Yeah, completely.
And it's the same with entrepreneurs. I always hear about, you always read these or listen to these podcasts where if you want to succeed, you don't sleep, you keep going, you keep pushing, blah, blah, blah. But that person who can do that and carry on doing it may have the circumstances.
Bullshit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I call
bullshit.
No,
but like, for example,
the body will always bill you
up
for neglecting. Always.
Yeah, for
always,
sure.
Always. These entrepreneurs, there's some of them that I disgust because I feel that they sell this idea that for you to be successful, you have to burn yourself. That's bullshit, because there will have to be there are 24 hours in a day for you, for me, for the Pope, for everyone in the world, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
And you are not gonna do workout, be a full-time, a present parent, be a loving partner, build a 6-figure business, take care of your sleep. Like, there's only so much you can accomplish in a day. And I think that whenever I see entrepreneurs, I say, if you want to get there, you have to forget about dates and about love and about family and about sleep and focus on this. Why do I want that? And that's why challenging what success looks like, it's so important, because then you have to say, why do I want that 7-figure business if it means that I'm lonely and sick? My worthiness has nothing to do with whether I accomplish it or not. So why am I putting my body, my mind, my emotions through that horrendous test? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we talk about success, productivity, burnout, and worthiness, I think the biggest question that we all have to ask is, why do I want what I want? Do I really want it? And if the answer to that is because I want to feel that I am the best, or because I want to impress everyone that doubted me, or because I want to finally show the world what I can do, you might need to reconsider that, because that is a success that is putting your worthiness in question. If you say something like, I really want to, like, for example, for me, I really want to build this business because I want to support my family financially, especially right now, but also because I believe in my message. I have to know that if I am the one delivering the message and I don't take care of me as I deserve, because I'm a worthy being of love, support, connection, and nourishment, then I'm not going to accomplish my goals. So success will not be achieved ever, But if I say, I want to build a 7-figure business no matter what, because I want to show the world that Latina women can build a 7-figure business and can have all the money, and that is completely performative and most likely will lead me to burnout. So it is very important that we know, why do we want the success that we want? Why do I want to get there? What is the price that I'm willing to pay? Maybe, like, I remember a few years ago, I was talking to a mentor. I mean, the person is like a very, very high profile entrepreneur. And we were talking about business, and he was saying, I see a lot of potential in you. My question is, would you reach it? And I found it very, very triggering. And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, well, I see that you have a lot of potential, but I also see that you have children and that you are going to have to take care of these children. So I wonder, my question of whether you reach it is whether you can actually park the mothering side so that you can dedicate more to the business. And when he said that, it clicked. Having it all, that whole idea of success means having it all. It might be, I will have it all, but not at the same time. Because having it all means splitting 24 hours into impossible standards. You know what I mean?
I had that. I had growing up, because I had my school, university, engineering life, and then my swimmer, lifeguard, swimming coach life in parallel. Something had to give, and in many cases it was my social life. But when I did want to have a social life, it was my relationship with my family, and it was just an expectation that my family would 100% support me and not ask me any questions about my contribution at home, or whether I was playing a role at home, regardless of whether I needed that. But that was the situation I was in, and I was neglecting that, and that was causing issues growing up with my parents, with my father, let's say. And he was always saying, we never see you. You use the house as a hotel.
Yeah.
I'm sure many people have heard the same thing.
Oh my God, I got that. I thought that it was only Latino parents. My mom would tell me that.
You're using the house as a hotel. We don't see you, blah, blah, blah. You don't do this, you don't do that. And I was like, but I'm doing something positive for myself, for my life. Why can't you just see that? In any case, like you said, what is the price you're willing to pay?
Yeah.
And think of, I think most important thing is just when you embark on anything, think of what's important and try to work around the best way to get there without neglecting anything, whether it be your health, your health is priority, it's key.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you're eating in moderation, not too much, not too bad, not too good, not neglecting your relationships with your family, with your friends, and at the same time focusing on what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
And it can be done.
I think that the clarity is really important. What is it that I want to achieve, and what is my priority in the day-to-day? Because also, as an entrepreneur myself, not all the time is going to require the same thing. It's going to demand the same thing. As a mother, the same thing. For you as a business, as a swimming coach, as an engineer, not the pressure and the needs and the requirements might shift. So you have to remain flexible.
Adapt. You have to adapt. Yeah. Adapt to the situation. Yeah.
To me, other than the clarity of why do I want to achieve what I want to achieve, like why am I so laser focused on this thing now? It's also knowing that priority, it's in singular. If you have 10 priorities, you have nothing. That's bullshit. If you have one priority for a season. So for example, for me right now, I'm down to my last 2 weeks of homeschooling, and then the boys enter summer holidays. So my priority right now, other than recovering my health, which is really important, is to finish homeschooling. I'm building a new website. I'm building a bunch of courses for that website. And that will be my priority as soon as Matthew's schoolwork is done in July. So July and August, when I'm not going to be doing homeschooling, everything is going to be around business and around still nourishing my body, But if your priorities are your friends and your family and your career and your physical health and you're running a marathon, and what the fuck?
So exactly this is basically life personified, and we do the same thing in like coaching. You tend to give yourself, let's say, a 10-year target, right? Within 10 years, I want to achieve X, right? And let's just say, right? But then obviously you have to break that down into very
milestones,
milestones or like sub targets, right?
Yeah.
In order for me to get there, I need to ensure that on a daily basis, I'm sleeping 8 hours a day. I'm doing X amount of training.
I love that. Yes,
etc. And then you have all these like short-term goals and long-term goals, essentially.
Yeah.
And then your ultimate goal, and you start with your ultimate goal, and then you work back. And your short-term goal at the moment for you is to see through homeschooling. Once you've achieved that short-term goal, which is a new goal you probably didn't have 5 years ago, you were learning about it. You've brought that goal in. I need to overcome this and see through this hurdle. And then from there, I'm going to reevaluate myself in trying to get to building my business. That's my ultimate goal, right? You're always evaluating, reevaluating, checking on yourself, getting feedback from others. How am I doing?
Yes.
What can I do better? Do you have any tips? And you can ask these questions to yourself. You don't need to ask them to people around you.
Yeah.
And manage it that way.
I think another thing that I always bring on for my clients is, how do you want to feel as you are on the path of achieving that goal, but also how do you want to feel when you reach success? Because many times success is this thing, like I want to lose 20 kilos, and I do, because I do keto coaching and nutritional coaching. I do get those goals, those measurements of success. And I ask them, but how do you want to feel, as someone who battled anorexia, the feeling is more important, like right now, if you ask me, how do I want to feel right now? Success to me is to recover my stomach so that I can eat without pain and I can go back to training. I'm not even thinking about any PRs. I'm not even thinking about when am I going to reach my 100 kilo goal for deadlift. I'm not even there because I have been sick, right? So how do you want to feel as you work towards that success?
Exactly.
And how do you want to feel when you reach it, knowing that you are worthy throughout the journey? You are worthy when your body weight is 100 kilos, and when it's 80, and when it's 60, and when it's 50, and when it's whatever it is that you want it to be. You're worthy when you are single and craving a relationship, and when you start dating people, and when you find one person, and when you get engaged, and when you get married, and when you get divorced, and when through the journey of reaching success, we are worthy. And it is in anchoring in that worthiness and forgetting about productivity that we can actually avoid burnout, because burnout comes when my obsession for productivity towards success makes me neglect my needs.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, I'm currently the same. I set myself a target of losing 15 kg, right? I want to get down to below 100. I'm 105, let's say. I was 110, and I was like, I want to do it in 3 months. And then I said to myself, if I want to do it in 3 months, I've got to literally focus on training 8 hours, 10 hours a day. And it just wasn't happening. So I said to myself, let me give myself a target. I entered the London Triathlon, which has been postponed for a year.
Yeah.
And I said, I wanted to change the way my lifestyle was. My lifestyle, rather than sitting on the couch every single day after work, doing nothing, I just want to be more active. And I am now more active. I'm doing more cycling, I'm doing a bit of running, more walking, and I feel better in myself. And when I check myself on the scales, I may not be, losing weight as quickly as I want to, but I'm actually happy. I'm happy with the way my life is.
Totally.
Yeah?
I totally see that in you right now.
The only thing missing now is getting back into swimming, because I want to actually get in the water and do some swimming.
Next Friday.
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. But the point is,
I agree with you. I think that revisiting the goals and making the goals about you and the journey and your pleasure and your contentment, it is so powerful. Like, to me right now, like I said, do I want my website to be ready so that I can start generating more money? Of course I do. Of course I do.
I had a brief chat with one of the coaches on Instagram, and I think she posted a picture of her having done a really hard training set. She posts her training sessions online, and she's like looking into the distance, and it's kind of like a look of, why am I doing this to myself, sort of thing. Like, why do I do this to myself? But she enjoys it. And that's what keeps her going, and that's the same with anything. Is that I sit here and I enjoy reaching out to people. I enjoy helping people out. And I'm content with that.
Yeah.
But it gets to the point where you can't neglect yourself and forget about yourself in your enjoyment.
Yeah, because worthiness is I'm gonna give myself first, and then from the overflow I'm gonna give the world, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah, it's starting in the center, and then the ripple effect out. Anything extra, you still love that. I'm never going to forget that. It's really good. But it's true.
Today I had the best analogy with a client. I said to her, imagine, because I always say about the Ziploc bag, that like the center is like if you're holding a Ziploc bag. But today I told her, imagine that you're sitting in a hot tub made of crystal. And what is inside could be either lava that is burning you or sparkly slime. And everyone that loves you is helping you hold that. And it was such a good analogy. So proud of myself. But but that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
I have to say that to me right now, success right now, to me feels like health and a harmonious relationship with my children through homeschooling. So that is my priority. In terms of health, I'm happy because I started doing a little bit more movement. Last week, I did a couple of workouts that were a little bit more towards what I like, and my body reacted really well. And I hope to continue this week. And knowing that I'm going to take a few more weeks, if not a few more months, to go back to where I was a month ago. But I have avoided a bunch of shit on the journey. Like, I still didn't get the gallstone surgery, and my gallstone pain is like completely gone. I have managed a lot of things without much drama.
I think we need to kind of wrap it up a bit, because we need
to wrap it up. But I think that the call to action for everyone is to remind themselves, when you are creating these goals, when you are thinking about what you want to achieve in your life, to bring it back to how do you want to feel through the journey, and when you get there, and why do you want what you say that you want? Do you want it to impress the world, or do you want it because really it's something that feels like your soul is on fire?
Well, I'm definitely the soul is on fire kind of person, but I have a little bit of an ego. I'm not going to lie, and
everyone does.
I want
it's
to be
part
the
of
best.
Your brain development.
Yeah, I want to be the best, and I want people to think, oh, why is that guy the best? But it comes from the hard work that you do, and the passion.
Yeah, but your worthiness has nothing to do with what others say about you.
Oh no, for sure. No, I agree with you 100%. But and just making sure that no matter what you decide to do, no matter what goals and targets you set, your body and your mental and physical health has you have an obligation towards that. Essentially, you have to look after. In order to achieve what you want to achieve, you have to be healthy. You have to be mentally stable, and without those, you won't be able to focus, and you won't be able to push yourself.
Yeah,
so
completely.
Always take some time out to relax. Always take some time out away from your desk, to have some lunch, to look at something different, to go for a walk, some fresh air.
Always nourish yourself. Always make your nourishment the biggest priority, because it is through that you're going to actually achieve the targets without burnout.
Yeah, socialize a little, do something different, just step away from that.
And do what feels good for you. Remember, like we said, the journey will look different for each of us, and destination will look different. So you need to make this about you and your needs and wants.
Exactly.
Okay. And on that
bombshell,
we wrap it up.
Wrap up. Buttercup.
I love it how you said buttercup.
Buttercup. Yeah. Not wrap it up. Buttercup. Buttercup.
Butter. Okay. So this has been episode 7. And
7 is my favorite number, by the way.
Really? Did you know in Kabbalah 7 is the number of God?
Is it? I think. Do I have?
I think we have already discussed that.
Have we really?
So as always, you can email us to podcast@theselfworthcoach.online. I love that your Hatz t-shirt is a 7.
I don't know if
Why
you can see
7?
That.
Yeah, 7. I can see it now.
7 was David Beckham's number, and I really loved him.
Okay, as always, you can email us to podcast@theselfworthcoach.online. You can follow us on Instagram @anahi.theselfworthcoach and Hatz09 with a Z. Hatz09. I remember, girls, he gives really good hugs. He can serenade you to the Spice Girls greatest hits, and there was another one. He's very good at grooming himself. He takes good care of himself, which means that he's going to take good care of you.
Yeah, not for a while, but okay. I haven't.
Well, everything is close. Everything is close. Okay, so see you next week. Listen to us next week. Remember, we are in all the podcast channels right now, and share, like, subscribe, and do the magical thing so we can continue doing this every week for you.
Thank you, guys.
I sang a little bit.
Yeah, it was amazing. Muchas gracias.
Bye, everyone. Muchas gracias. Bye, guys.
Muchas gracias. Thanks, guys. See you soon.